What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Poolside Chat. Got something completely different for you for this and the next video. We're going to be doing some BCA breakdown, playing some 8-ball. So what actually this is, I've never recorded BCA since I've had the channel because where I play this BCA, it's kind of awkward and there's no real good way to be able to record BCA because the way the tables are set up without physically moving the camera back and forth. It'd be kind of a pain and too much effort. So I finally got an end cap with the 2 tables, just real easy. Move my gimbal side to side and we can do this. I brought a second camera. Unfortunately, I can't do the overhead camera. Their table lights are just too low. So when I attach my overhead, even though it's a wide angle action cam, it cut off both of the head and foot rails. So no overhead tier, sad panda. But for now, let's play some BCA 8-ball. And here we go. Just so you know, I am doing things kind of the way I used to, so we should have a little bit more control. Yes, if you look up in the top right corner, I have, at least for these videos, I do have the old red dot back to kind of give you an idea where on the cue ball, when I say low left, when I say, you know, if I say low with just a little bit of left, something like that, like where am I actually thinking you want to try to strike the ball? So we can have that there. And yes, because this bar does have green felt, I tried to mimic that a little bit in the scoreboard. Hope you guys aren't too offended with it. But for first match, we're gonna be playing Keith, a watcher of the channel. So let's beat this guy up for a second. What do you think? And if I remember correct, yeah, this. So if you don't play BCA, this is a little different of a league too. I should point out this is a 4-on-4, but whoever you play in the 4th round, you play that person again. You just flip who, or you alternate who breaks. So 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, 5 rounds, so 20 total matches. And the way that works, the first round we alternate who racks and breaks. I always set myself and one of my other players to get that extra break, and then kind of go from there. But right out the gate, and templates are allowed, so that's always a good thing. As you can see, there's 100 points difference in Fargo. Not like it matters in BCA because it's just a straight race. 1 point for every ball made, and then I guess you say a 3-point bonus for making the 8, so 10 points total. Let's see how this break goes. Good push. 3 ball down, but so was the cue. And here's my side angle. It's a different camera I am trying out, and somehow, some way, the settings got all messed up. So as the racks go, you're gonna see this is very, very different. I wish they all looked at least like that, but whatever. All right, Keith, welcome to the channel. It is ball in hand on a scratch, and personally I like going with stripes right out of the gate. I like this. Start with that 11 ball, draw into that kind of right in between that 2 and 12, separate it. You don't have to hit it super hard, but you want to hit it harder than that, because now you can see he does have a little bit of a cut on the 12. So you're going to put just a little bit of low. Just, oh no, move that one. Go just a little bit of low and just kind of give it a little bit of a punch. Good shot, because at least now open that up. It goes to the top corner, so now you've got some options. What was that, the 14? Problem is, he kind of left himself in a bad spot. You want to put a little bit more of a punch just to pull that cue back, but either way. So personally, I'm going to take this with a high little bit of left spin. Come around. He decided to go inside, so he actually hit something about like so. spun back towards the middle, and even though he's got a absolutely beautiful mez cue, there's still going to be some deflection, something you got to take in effect. So I'm going to start with the 1, nice and easy shot, set me up. I wish personally I would have went just a little firmer so I could have the 5, because I want to use that 5 as my breakout ball, but I would have liked to keep that 2 as insurance, because even though his 14's in the pocket, I think you can still make that 2 by hitting it, you know, a little on the left side of the 14 as a rolling ball. I think it would have took anyway and still made it, but I didn't roll far enough, so then I had to kill the 2 and then go for the breakout. And the problem is with a breakout, when you don't leave yourself an insurance ball, you don't know what you're gonna leave. So here we go. Put myself 50-yard line on both of them. Neither one, like my normal shot, I would say let's go ahead and take the 4 ball to the left middle pocket, let the cue ball come around. The problem is the 10 is blocking the 7 long, so that's a little bit more difficult. Can't bank the 4. So really your only real option here is to bank the 7. Gotta wait for my teammate Ryan to move over a little. So now I have to bank this fairly softly, because you want to try to leave the cue ball, you know, on that from this side, let's say the top left corner, somewhere in there, so you give yourself a shot on the 4 on the side. But unfortunately, like, the speed was good there. Left myself a long shot. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with missing the 7, and now he is open. I think he's just double checking, does it go, or it looks like it's straight with just a slight bit of right cut. And if he's worried about it, he could take the 14 with some right, but yeah, okay. He kind of cheated the pocket a little bit, just a stun over. That was a really good shot. I would estimate he hit that just a little below center. Is he hitting this with top though? He is, forcing him the long shot down the rail for the 10. If that 13 goes, I might go ahead and take that now, and then use the 14 to spin back over to the right side of the table. 10's your key ball for the 8. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna see if that 13 goes fairly easily. And it does. I like hitting this fairly soft, high left, just to make sure you don't get behind that 4 ball, but kind of looks like that's what he did, and he hit it pretty firm. Got definitely all the way around. Now he's just got a nice easy cut for the side. Just a little bit of a stun draw. You don't want the cue ball to roll because it's just far out enough that the cue ball might go forward and scratch. At the same point, you got to wait for this guy behind us. You can also tell these tables are right on top of each other. On the left side, the table is barely out of view, so it's a tight pool hall. Good shot, Keith. Well done, my friend. 5 to 10. Lost my first rack, but doesn't matter. We got more to come. Let's dive into rack number 2. All right, rack number 2, we're gonna be playing Rebecca. She is a 346 Fargo, and now we're into the second. Oh, we're in the second round, therefore my team is still breaking. If I remember correct, I think we were away. Yeah, I think we were away this one, so it kind of alternates, you know, who has a long break or whatnot. You know what I'm talking about if you play BCA. So good news is got the same table. Didn't have to kind of move anything, but I played against Rebecca for years. She's 346. She kind of toggles between a 3 and a 4 in APA, if I remember correct. It's been a while since I played her, or even really seen her in APA. but she's all over the place. All right, rack number 2. Let's go. Let's do a little better on that break where we don't sink the whitey. But you guys, anybody that already knows my breaks, I am breaking about right there. Low with a little bit of left. Definitely, I think I had too much low because that low ripped straight out of there. Don't really want that. Let's get that template out the way. But I think if I see that correctly, that is a dry break. Rebecca coming to the table here. And there's going to be a few times. She actually just had rotator cuff surgery on, I think her right shoulder, one of her shoulders. So there's a point like she has to use a bridge and like she can't lift very easily. So she's already suffering. A little bit of backboard there for the 12 or for the 10 with the 12. So she decides to take stripes here. I like that the 11 goes. The problem is unless you hit it with a little bit of like a stun draw and just kind of pull back a little bit to where you can see the 12. If you hit it as a rolling ball, there's a good chance you could really screw up your run. You don't want to do that. So for me, I'm comfortable with my stroke. I'm going to hit that with some draw, pull back middle table just a little bit, and then use the 12 as my next. Here she is now. She's got the bridge with all the contraptions. But I like taking the 12 here for her. Easily spin around 2 rails. I would try to hit it mildly soft so you can try to hold it for either the 9 or the 11 into the top middle from this angle. Like, honestly, I'm just hitting it straight rolling ball. Nothing crazy. Nice and easy. She punched it definitely firmer than I would have. Something very common when you're dealing with the bridge. A lot of people, just because they think they have a bridge, they don't have the same stroke mechanics, so they just kind of like just stab it and end up hitting it too hard. Personally here, I like taking the 14 as a kind of a stop shot or a super soft rolling ball if you have really good speed control, and that should hold the 15 to that left side pocket. And then, you know, you've got the 9. It looks like the 9 goes in that right middle. Obviously, you've got the 11 as some kind of insurance ball being out in the open. Oh, she was going for the 15 now. She might either not have been comfortable or might not have been able to see that 14. But look at this leave. Like, all I can see is a thin back cut on the 4 ball. So I'm having to put some pretty good low just to slide it. And unfortunately got too thick. I was not about to try to thin cut that 5 ball all the way up table. That's for sure. Looks like she's going to take the 13. Problem with that ball is what's your next? Like, at least if you take the 11, you've got a bit of an angle. Yeah, I think you can roll into that 9, maybe the 4. She just center ball punched it, so the ball didn't roll. It just hit and slid off that tangent line. So now you're going to need that bridge back, because I think now you're going to have to paper cut that 13 back here to the low left, which should put the cue ball kind of going back up table towards that 14. The problem is you very easily could move that 14 into that mix, making it harder. So yeah, just hit this easy rolling ball. Just put a little top on it. Good cut. Punched it still firm. So when you punch it like that, you're not allowing the cue. There, I grabbed her brake cue with the bridge head on it because it's kind of hard for her to lift. But when you punch a cue ball firm like that, especially when it's close, if you don't hit it top with smooth stroke where that cue ball actually rolls forward, when you punch it, I don't care what spin you put on it, the cue ball is going to slide and then it's going to come off the object ball 90 degrees, which is why it went over towards that 15 as opposed to the go off the rail up towards the 14. So you've got a little bit of angle on this. I'm going to try to treat it like a stop shot so it slides and maybe even put a little bit of draw on it. I can't remember when she came and asked me something, but I'm going to try to draw this a little bit. There you go. You can see there is a gap between that 2-4, but you don't want to roll it because you're not going to be able to see it. She hit it too thick, but even then, you hit that a little thinner, the cue ball is actually going to come closer to the 3, and she ain't jumping. So right out of the gate, going straight into safe mode. I don't have anything yet, and as you can see, this is an ugly table. Therefore, I need you guys to sit tight, grab a soda, because this one might take a little bit of time now. At least a few more minutes than what I would have hoped. She's trying to thin cut the 14, then back carom off the 4, maybe? That could be cool. That could be cool. Got to hike up, and again, with that shoulder problem, this might not... No! Straight in the drink. Who knows what's coming? Who knows what's coming? I'll give you a little hint. Nastiness. Pure nastiness. That absolutely froze to the 2. There's a little gap off the 1. She has to take a timeout. This is her at the time boyfriend. Congratulations. I heard you guys got engaged recently, even though this match was like 2 weeks ago. So now she's having to 2-rail kick and just barely missed it. You move that aim point 1/8 of an inch, you hit that 15. So here we go. What to do. I'm just kind of gauging, like, can I hit the 5 without touching the 8 and just, even as a safe, just stop shot it and freeze it there, kind of open some stuff up. So instead, we're going to take the 2 ball, going to be hitting this straight top, kind of open some stuff up. And open it up a little more. There we go. Looks like I'm going to be just doing a stun, little punch shot, a little bit of low. Come right off the rail, nice and easy. That should give me my 7 ball. So high with a little bit of right. I might even be going rail first, if I remember correct. Yeah, I did go rail first. Moved it, but I didn't move the 8. So now it still doesn't go. So here we go. Super long bridge are on. I'm gonna play a little safety. Looks like, yeah, say, thank you, second camera angle. I did actually hook her on the 14, which is most important, but I left her open for a bank on the 15. Problem is that 6 ball comes into play. Looks like she's putting a little high right. Like I said, 6 ball comes into play. All right, should be pretty straightforward at this point. Give myself just a little bit of an angle, just so you can kind of, just a touch under center and just punch it, or pop it, I should say. Not even a punch, just a little pop. And it looks like I gotta hit top because I'm a little tree topped over a ball. But roll forward. Now you got the 6. I'm just double checking that little step aside to see where I want to leave it. Do I have room that I'm comfortable shooting that 5 into the side, or do I need to roll forward even another couple inches to shoot that 5 long? Looks like I'm taking into the side. Should just be super long bridged, top English. Roll down the side. Guys, this should be all she wrote. There we go. All right, let's dive into the next one. And here we go with another one. Now we're going to be playing Andrew. He is a 350 Fargo. And as just kind of left this in to show you, I did have to lower my tripod, take my gimbal, aim it to the left. And now we are ready to roll for this other table. Hoist it up another foot or so. Try to get that tripod all the way max, especially this place. It's got very high ceiling, so I can really get vertical with it. And actually, you can kind of see it here, just right there. These are not Valley or Dynamo tables. It is a brand called Shelfie, something I've never seen except for this place. Basically plays like a not diamond, like a Valley. But the nice thing is the coin return has a metal flap over the ball as you just push it down and drops them super easy, compared to Valleys or however the others don't always have an easy, quick mechanism. But BCA, now we're switching where I don't get the break. Andrew's got this one. Let's see what he's got. Straight out of the gate. Little bit of clump, probably from a bad rack. Not intentional, of course, but just the way these tables kind of get abused. Even though this place has like 19 tables, it's more of a sports bar. Like, it's not a true pool hall. That they don't run tournaments. They only really run leagues during the week for get butts and seats, in my opinion. But anyway. All right. I like taking solids just a hair more. If you can kind of roll this forward. There you go. Now you should have that 5 ball. And if you do have the 5 with a slight angle, I'm going to draw into that 4-2 or 8-2 and try to open those up a little bit. If you don't have it, yeah, see, that looks like you've got a bit of an angle. Oh, hit it pretty good. Went right into that 2 ball, which was nice. Unfortunately, did not get where he wants. So what's my pattern? Where am I going? 11 ball sucks, but I've got a nice easy ball to make on the 14 and be able to open this up. So we're gonna grab the bridge. Looks like I'm probably gonna be going high left. Spin over. Well, first things first, Todd, you gotta make the ball. I think I was just focused on the aim point and trying to move the 11. Missed the dang ball. But good news is I leave him much. Like, if you can see the 1, let's take that. The only problem is you're not gonna have a lot because you can't roll too far forward. I guess you could, never mind. You could just send it. I'm okay with that. You don't want to slow roll it because then cue ball gets long and you can't medium stroke it. You'd have to super soft hit it to be able to hold for the 2. But either way, I've got some work here. Once I move the 11, the 10 goes in the low right. Oh, look at that. Hiked up, maximum draw. Put a nice little stroke to it. I was trying to pull back so I could at least see something with that 11 and or 9. Way overkilled it. Way overkilled it. First things first, if he's trying to get run out, he's got to figure out that 8 ball. Or leave your shape where you can get behind it, like leave the 2 or the 5 as your key ball to shoot in the side or top left. And right out of the gate, he hiked up trying to hit center. And when you hike up, you're actually putting low. So when you give it a little punch shot like that, you're actually putting low so it draws back. Because if you think of a cue ball, when you have this, when you're aiming here, you're hitting center. When you come this way and you try to aim down, you're pushing a bit of draw to it, and that's why he got out of shape there. But again, he's getting rid of his 2 key balls for that 8. Like, so now he's got to make this good shot, and now he's got to shape. Oh man, I don't even know what to do because that's real close. Like low left is very possible scratch if you put a good stroke to it, because you got to get south. So I'm almost wondering like straight left and try to come around 3 rails for shape on that 7. Got behind it. That's the problem when you start using spin, though, is that there's going right back into safe mode. Unfortunately, I kind of left a look at the 1. Wanted to hit the rail, come back into that 13. But this is where when my my new or lower skill level players try asking me about using spin, or they mention like, oh, I'm gonna hit with top left. I'm like, stop using spin. Anything you want to do, you can do with some form of high ball. Ooh. Look at that. He got back, just hit it too hard. About 1.5 foot less roll, and he leave himself good. For the 7, not great for the 8. But yeah, when you start getting spin induced in the ball, you know, the harder you hit it, and the more spin you put in it, the more deflection. So the softer you hit it, the less deflection. And you have to understand your stroke, your cue, and how much power is going to cause the right amount of deflection. Once you know all those variables, now you know how you need to aim, because that's when you start aiming too thick or too thin, depending on your spin, to make it account for the deflection to hit where you want. And I'm not even going to get into throw. That's a whole nother story, whole nother subject. It looks like he's comfortable with the jump stick. Nice loose grip. I like to see that. Oh, but you saw his whole, like, instead of just like jamming down with it, he dropped his elbow and his entire form. You know what? Because I can, we're going to go back and look at this. And no, not trying to beat you up, Andrew, but this is for everybody. When you watch his form, when he drives down, he actually led with the elbow. That's not putting a good stroke through it. So anyway, hope that kind of helps anybody that's trying to jump. I like that his elbow's out and he's not like elbow in trying to, like, you know, do something weird. But either way, let's get back to this. So now we just have, looks probably going to be going high, a little bit of left. And I did not leave myself in a great spot here. You know, one thing I want to talk about while we're, look at that safety. So this is a good time to discuss this. When you're dealing with BCA, you're only playing one rack. In Ultimate, USAPL, APA, you're doing a race. If you lose one rack, whatever. Pick yourself up, go get the next one, try to beat the race or whatever. But when you're playing BCA, you have one rack, and truth be told, especially in amateur pool, one rack, anybody can win. There is nobody that can 100% of the time beat another player. You play 100 racks, somebody can win one, and that's all it takes. So you have to play with a more, I need this rack. Like every rack is hill, essentially, is how you need to think about it. Winner wins, loser lose. Do you want to get, 0 through 7 points, or do you want that 10? Which also is how USAPL should score. Shouldn't be 14. I'll get off that soapbox. But you have to think about it. So like that, in a race format, I probably would have just went high ball, try to cut that 10, spin around the 7, get up for the 13. If I miss or whatever, I got more time. But in BCA, stop doing stupid stuff. You got one rack. Very good kick. Very good kick. Looks like he left me pretty straight. Like if there's a little bit of an angle, I could draw above the 13, but there isn't. So I got to softly hit top English. And because I didn't get very far, now I gotta have to put like a low right, kind of a punch draw with Ron's favorite super long bridge. And I did not account for the deflection correctly. Look at that leave. The speed was great. The reaction was great. The miss was not great. And he's in a real bad spot only because of where it's at. Like, I wish I actually edited this to show the other camera angle, because I would want to talk safety, because a safety doesn't have to mean hook him. He doesn't have to try to draw behind the 8 perfectly. You could if you have that kind of control, but if you don't, play another shot. And especially when you're playing a lower handicap, a safety is just, don't leave him an easy one. Leave him long, leave him a hard shot, something like that. So like this, I'm going to basically hit a similar shot what I just did and try to leave the cue ball behind the 8. Not too shabby. Andrew, I'm sorry, brother. He's probably like these dang 561s. And that is where having a vast knowledge of safeties come into play. But he plays, look at this, already sees a Z kick. So well done, my friend. I like going with that better than trying to go, back low rail, 2 rail back at it. That, because then you're kind of shooting blind. Not like the Z isn't, but I think that had a little bit more option. So straight rolling ball, I always leave myself an angle. I hate hitting straight balls. And that right there. Ten to 6. There we go. Let's move on. So now, like I said, we're going to be playing back-to-back racks against the same gentleman, but I still have it edited correctly. So let's get into the first one against Jason. All right, at least I sped this one up. Playing the same person back-to-back. So we're now playing Jason, the boyfriend, now fiance of Rebecca. He is a 503 Fargo. He's a very good shot. He's like a very strong APA 6. I do know that. I've seen him and I've played him a handful of times in tournaments. So I know what he's capable of. Let's get control of this red dot. Gonna go for a break. Low, little bit left. Got a whole lot of ugly. Template's open. And looks to be dry. Man, take your pick. They both look good. I like Stripes just a hair better. I like taking Stripe's just a hair better. I'm probably going to shoot that 14 and shoot it long to the top left. Easy enough to just barely drop that. I think it was a 15. And then top English cue ball roll towards the for the 9 leave. He says I have different ideas. We are going to go for solids. Problem is, what's your next shot though? Oh, and he hooked himself on the 5. 6 doesn't go. Can't see the 1. He didn't get far down enough. You know what? Let's just back up here real quick. You know, from here, let's pause the match. We already know what happens. I almost want to like hit this with a little bit of a stun draw and just try to get it to slide down. Maybe you can leave yourself that 3 ball and try to leave that cue. We're just going to borrow this dot real quick. Get it basically to slide right down here. And then you have this entire area to leave. Just don't go in the drink. I think that probably would have been the way I would have tried to hit that, because knowing you don't want that rolling ball, it had to run into the 9, and you, unless you hit it firm enough, the 9 bounces out. You don't want to hit it lightly because, well, you tie up your other ball. Not to mention hitting a light, you don't have a lot of option other than back cutting the 7 to the high right. But now the cue ball is going right at the 8 ball. You got some. I don't think the 8 ball is going to get stupid is the only thing, but it could go off the 8 and scratch on the left side. What's he doing? He's putting just a little bit of a draw shot. Went straight up and down with it. Can I still split that 6 and 1 to do something with the 10 is the question. And we're going to start with the 15 ball. Oh, if I got shape on that 9, that would be insane. Because then I can just hit it with just a little bit of low left to bring it back out in the open. Kind of sucks when you're stretched short man laying on it. Yeah, I definitely didn't put low left. I was just trying to worry about making the dang thing. You know, once I make that 12 to the top left over there, cue ball could come around, 10 go in the same pocket. Unless there's a gap on that 6-1. You know, or even better, just move the dang thing. There we go. Now, as my boy Drew Von Port always says, EFG, everything friggin' goes. Look at that speed. These tables, they do run a little bit slower than a lot of other ones, so it takes me a few minutes, or gotta practice for a while before, because the night before I played a different pool hall, the night after I played another one. I'm playing 4 different pool halls right now. Every table plays different. So knowing this one runs slow, there are times I have to remind myself, playing at Sharks. You're playing at Sharks. Playing at Sharks. AKA, put a stroke to it. Looks like, okay. I couldn't tell if it was high. Oh, don't do that. I couldn't tell if it was high or low right, just to bring back out. And I think I've got enough angle. I can just hit this a soft rolling ball. Cue ball should run right into that 6, I think. And if so, that leaves me the 8 long, but I got it. Just clipped it, just made it soft and easy. 8 ball top right pocket. And it goes down 10-2. Not a bad way to get towards the end of this, but we're not done. We got one more round. Let's get back with Jason, but this time he gets to break. All right. Apparently I had to move the camera a little bit. Some things might have changed. Regardless. Move, Keith. Just trying to get YouTube time. That's what he's doing. All right, Jason breaks this one. Little punch straight into the head ball. I think he made something though. Looks like he made a solid. Solids aren't terrible, but he doesn't have a great start. Like, that is a super thin shot on the 7 and the side. I don't like it. So whatever, give up the 1 point. Who cares? Take stripes. I'm going to high just a slight bit of right. Yeah, punch right into that. I can't help but wonder if he put a little bit lower, just maybe the way it came off, because it came back and you don't really want that. Oh, smashed it. All right, let's see what Todd's got here. Is that 4 ball? Like, how much off the rail is that 4 is the question. Unless it's thin, if you can get it in the side. But regardless, it looks like, what am I doing? I think I'm going straight low. No, I went around. So I went around the world. Must have been a high left. Ugh, gotta get that 7 ball out too. What's your pattern here, Todd? Where are you going? I mean, I think you gotta take that 4 ball all the way to the corner. I don't like shooting that soft in the side because you're not really going to leave yourself anything. So looks like I'm going to put in just straight draw. Yeah, just that was a speed shot there. Left myself really good because now a soft rolling ball. Looks like I'm putting a good amount of top. Goes right over. Love rubs the 7, so now it's got a home. EFG, Drew. Can't tell how straight that 5 is. If I remember correct, this video, the secondary screen was just basically unusable. I don't know what happened. I just went over, hit a button, hit play. It didn't. I hit the wrong button, I think. All right, so it was straight. So now we're just gonna take, again, another rolling ball. Just try to get it as close to the rail. Around the 15 is the key. Just knowing that speed of the ball. Same thing. I even have a nice little angle. Don't hit the 9 and then roll behind it. Ooh, I did rub it, but I think I've got enough. I'm pretty sure. Oh, we gotta wait for someone behind me, because like I said, these tables are tight. Take a little TV time out here, but this might be a pretty good table run to finish this match. Hey, 10-1. What is going on? That is fantastic. 10-2, 10-1 against their high player to end this match. You know what? I'm going to take a second. I'm going to have to go find out the full scores. Let's dive into the breakdown of the points and how this came out. All right, so there we have it. The first BCA match I've ever done. If you guys haven't yet, please do me a favor. Like this video if you enjoyed it, of course. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys liked about it. And in the meantime, let's dive into some scores. Keith, you son of a... You ruined my 50. You ruined my perfect match. But you know what? 45-24 is already a fantastic score. I will take that any day of the week. Kind of looking at the scores for the team. So like I said, it is 4-on-4, but you're playing 5 matches each. So 20 total matches. My team split with them 10 racks apiece, 10-10. But because of handicap and just overall scores, we ended up, we only got 2 rounds. That is 2 rounds. They won 3 plus the overall. They got a 159 to our 146. So we lost the overall match. looks like the big winners on their team. Keith, you shot a 50. Come on, man. 50 to 22. The guy smoked me, and he's 100 Fargo points. He shot fantastic. I think it's one of those people that just wanted to be on YouTube and wanted to show off a little bit. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I've got some more coming for you. We have a whole nother double header, and the play doesn't stop. Again, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to see you guys probably going to be coming out on Black Friday. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys. See you soon.